Be careful.
He's and Scott Higgins, both of them coked up out of their minds.
Listen to you. He's down in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I think we should call this the Acement.
The Acement, yes.
Yeah, what do you think there, huh?
I like that. The Acement Studios.
Excuse me, I'm drinking beer. Hold on a second.
We usually drink bourbon on our end
Yeah,
when we
right.
do the podcast, so
That's all right.
feel free to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You shoot an 8-ball if you want. We don't care, as long as it's good stories.
Welcome to the Acement, everybody. It's time to go behind the funny. This is Scott Higgins.
And this is Ace Aceto.
Why are you rocking back?
Because that's what you just did.
Yeah,
you did a drive-by on your mic.
You, Mr.
Listen.
Pomp and circumstance over here. It's like you can't wait 30 seconds.
We have been upstairs in the kitchen talking for 15 minutes. Scott decides he's got to pee.
I
just
have
as it's showtime.
the bladder of a hummingbird.
We know.
I have to time
that.
it to the exact second before the show starts.
Anyway.
You know my process.
Welcome to Behind
But
the
welcome,
Funny,
everybody.
folks.
Thank you for joining us this week. As you do every week, we got another great episode for you. Who is our bourbon date this week, my friend?
Our bourbon date this week is Uprising, American single malt whiskey from our friends down at Sons of Liberty of
in
Rhode Island.
Wakefield, Rhode Island.
Wakefield, Rhode Island. They also have a fantastic beer, which we normally don't drink beer on the podcast, but
We should one time.
I
Yeah.
drink beer when I'm not on the podcast, and their beer is called Chair 2.
What is it called?
Chair 2.
Like sitting in a chair?
Sitting in a chair. I don't know what it stands for. I don't know if it's a ski reference or
I'll
what,
take a
but-
chair, too.
Yeah, I'll take one too. But this is Uprising, and this is a really this was made from a stout mash. So if you remember
Yeah,
when we had
it
this
was really
last time,
good.
it finishes very, very malty.
Yes.
Like
smooth.
like a
but
stout.
very, very smooth.
Very smooth.
And it'll be interesting to see how it tastes tonight that the bottle's been open for a little bit.
Yes, it's been breathing in my basement for a little while.
As we are fine whiskey connoisseurs. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, all right there, Thurston Howell III. So are you having any? Are you partaking? All right, he's got his Dunkin'.
I got my donkey.
We're the only alcoholics here.
I feel like Tommy DeVito in the basement here. I'm getting ready to get whacked by all these guys.
Yeah.
By 3 guineas.
It's perfect.
And because I'm all the way against the wall, I have no way out of here.
That's right, Mickey boy. You're the only Irishman here.
I'm the only Mick.
Yeah. See, we're gonna make a movie called The Irish. Oh, they already did.
They already
that.
have
Never
one.
mind.
Damn
Sorry.
it.
No, listen, we're really excited because this week's guest, we actually weren't gonna record.
We were never going to
because-
have him on again.
No.
but- no, I just joking.
No, we weren't going to.
I was wondering who
tonight.
backed out.
No. Well,
We had nobody scheduled.
Actually, his proctologist backed out. He was
Yes.
supposed to have a colonoscopy today, but he had to reschedule it. So all of a sudden last
Yes.
week he said, "Hey, do we have a guest coming in?" I said, "No, you said you weren't around," and I said,
I forgot
"All
to
right,
let him know I had to reschedule.
I'll
it,
reach
so.
out." And actually, it was perfect timing. Not
Because
just-
of my asshole, we invited in an asshole.
yeah. No.
Oh, that's Joe.
right.
Joe's
Right,
there.
right, exactly.
No, we'll get to Joe too. Poor Joe's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. No, so it was perfect timing though. I was scrolling through Facebook and I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect because our buddy Nick, who we've had on before, Nick Albanese, who is not only a comic, but from past episodes, you know, he's a playwright, he's an actor, now has delved into the producing and we'll talk more about all of this, but he's starting his own independent film company. And I scrolled through and saw the information on one of your newest projects, and I'm like, holy shit, we should have Nick come on and talk about all these new
Yes.
things that he's got going on.
Because he does not like time off.
No. I mean, literally, it
I don't.
seems like... It seems like you were here maybe 6 months ago talking about the Buddy Cianci.
That was a year
Right.
ago.
Was it a year ago
Last
already?
June I did that. show.
Wow.
Holy
Isn't it?
shit.
And I went, and
you went, yeah.
and let me tell you, it was amazing. I have a picture with him. It was like getting a picture with Buddy.
You could
He
tell.
looked like him. He had the fake cigarette. You know, you did such an amazing job with that show.
Thank you.
That even what I liked about it was, and I said this on the podcast when I came back, it was, I put it on the level of a Jim Carrey doing Andy Kaufman, or more recently, what was the movie that we were talking about? And I said they don't sound just like the person, but my God, they were that person. It was another recent movie, but I said the same thing about you. You didn't sound, you didn't try and do an impression of Buddy.
Yeah, I figured it would probably be horrible.
But your
if I tried to
mannerisms,
sound like him.
Right.
But your mannerisms and your cadence,
Yeah.
you talked like him. Yeah. It was Buddy being channeled through you.
Right. You more embodied him.
Yeah.
Just did an
Exactly.
impersonation of him.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Joe was there. Joe was Cahoots. He was Cahoots, my sidekick.
He was the sidekick.
What was
Yeah,
his name?
Cahoots.
Cahoots. Yeah, that was his. It
Are
was
you
his
on
driver.
IMDb now, Joe?
As Gagoots.
It was his driver. He basically walked him in, his driver and bodyguard.
Perfect.
Like an
That's
assistant
how he started.
bodyguard, you know.
Perfect.
Now,
That's how he
I played
started
I
the
think
show.
even
Yeah,
in the
right?
show, even in the show, I said I owed his mother a favor and gave him a job.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Which
Yeah.
Buddy would do.
Yeah.
Which Buddy would do.
absolutely would
That's
do.
why he truly did embody Buddy Cianci. It was a great show, and I hope you do it again. Like,
We'll see.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you want to move on to new things.
You know what's
but-
funny? Doing that, I got it out of my system. Like it was just like
because you
one
had
of those-
always wanted to
It's-
do it.
It
Is
was like
that
a
wh-
bucket list kind of
Is
thing.
that what you do with projects though? Is you go in all in, you write them, you put them on, and then you get the itch for the next thing, and then you do the same thing with
Pretty
that.
much, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, the Last Sicilian was the thing I did the most.
The
Right.
longest.
I did that for years because
But that was
my
deeply personal.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
story.
That
And
was your
there's
Bronx
still a
tale.
movie to be made.
Yeah.
There's still a movie to be made for
Right.
it. But Buddy, it was like I just got it out of my system. It was like a bucket list kind of thing. And after doing all the research about him,
Yeah.
and just being the way politics are, I was oh God, man,
It was exhausting.
It made me hate politics even more.
Yeah.
And politicians.
Right.
We're talking both sides.
Yeah.
I can't stand. They're all bullshit artists.
Yeah. Well,
they're all liars.
Listen,
they're
and
all liars.
when you were doing your research, I think I talked to you about this because I said I had listened to Crime Town based on his suggestion. Crime Town was the
Great
first
podcast.
podcast I ever listened to. I didn't even know what a podcast was at the time. So this is what, 8-9 years ago?
It's a
It was
while
before
ago.
we started this.
A while ago.
And I listened to it, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" He's literally admitting that. Look, I don't care. They said, "Well, how do you feel about abortion?" I don't know. What is this? I'm Democrat. What do they want?
Yeah.
It was whatever was going to get the votes, and that's what was amazing about that podcast. Was the question they asked at the very end was, did the city change Buddy, or did Buddy change the city? I think it's a little bit of both.
Yes.
It was both.
Yeah.
Because here's a guy who was a special prosecutor against organized crime, but he knew in order to get votes, he needed to get in bed with organized crime.
Exactly,
And I
exactly.
still have my Crime Town shirt. I should have worn it tonight in honor of you. I still have my shirt where it's half a face of Buddy and half a face of Patriarcha.
Oh, that's cool.
But
have you seen it?
No,
I'll
I've
show
never
it to
seen
you
it.
after the
I've
show.
never
It's
seen
cool.
that, no.
But one of the things with Buddy too, is you learned in Crime Town, is if somebody's house caught fire in the middle of the night, he'd get up and go.
Oh,
and
he
check
was at
on them and see if
fires,
they're
yeah.
if
And I
they were
mentioned that,
okay.
too.
Yeah.
I
right.
mentioned that in
He
the
was
show.
he truly was a man of the people.
And that
you
brought
know
back-
they told the story of the woman that couldn't afford heating oil, and he'd make sure they have heating oil. And he would the little people. He made sure that they were taken care of. So he truly was a man of the people, but he was not above doing whatever he had to get elected.
He was,
And
he was a man for himself.
Yes,
too.
too.
But
Right.
that's
right.
That's how Patriarcha was. Everyone said people loved him on the Hill.
Right.
He did for the little people. As long as you didn't borrow money from someone in his organization, you were going to be all right. you know,
exactly.
I don't know where that came from.
They didn't. They
Yeah.
didn't mess with the little people. They took care of
No.
the little people. But if you messed with them, oof,
Yeah.
oof.
So now you, and we talked about it before. I don't want to go rehash everything that you've done, but you started with the web series Bread, Butter, and Bullets.
yeah,
that
yeah.
was what 12 years ago. That was
That was
even before
07.
I met you.
That was 07.
Yeah.
What's
So-
the math? You know the math?
Come on, Rain
Oh,
Man.
that was
Science
17,
term
almost
Yeah.
17 years ago,
Yeah,
16
so-
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're close to 20 years. Right?
That's crazy. And I remember that's how I first heard about you.
And Joe,
They were like,
Joe was in that.
oh, was he?
Hey, me, yeah.
Hey, Joe, how you
I
doing?
was like, who's this?
What did he play in it? Gagoots.
He,
He's
no,
the
no,
cast.
he played Tony the Spatula.
And I stayed in the freezer
Remember?
with a.
He had his wife beater on
I
with,
didn't say that. That was-
with his
Oh,
big
yeah.
hairy chest.
Yep.
remember?
Yeah, that was fake though. The hair, right?
Yeah, that was fake.
I don't know.
Not.
I'm looking down. He's all buttoned up. He doesn't want to show it. No. So that's how you got started with, but you said it. You've always wanted to produce and make
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah,
and
because you went to
stuff like
school
that.
for it.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
right,
remember
exactly.
correctly. Yeah.
So what after Buddy?
Mm-hmm.
What came first? Because now you've got 3 different projects going on, and the most recent is Death or Taxes.
Yeah,
So was that the first thing that and were you thinking of that while you were doing the Buddy Show, or did that happen
no,
after?
that just kind of came to
Yeah.
me a few months ago, and I was just,
In the
I just
dream.
kind of went to, yeah, it was in the dream. It just kind of went through like a whole phase of like just through the winter, just writing and
Yeah, you have like a creative
and
burst.
and I wrote this feature film called Charles Street.
Yep.
Actually, first I wrote that, and because I have my feature North End of Providence is based off the Last Sicilian one-man show,
Right.
and that's based like in '85.
That's a
Yeah.
That's the documentary,
No,
right?
that's
no.
it's a feature film.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, wow, this is gonna be like a lot of money to make this movie. It's based in '85. It's
Period
it's
piece,
like,
right.
It's like 35 characters in it. It's a big piece.
Not to
Yeah.
mention locations,
Oh,
cars,
oh,
if there's
yeah.
cars involved. Yeah,
it's
right.
crazy. So I was like, I'm just gonna put that on the back burner. I'm gonna do it one of these days, but let me do some smaller projects
Right.
just to get my feet wet with directing,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and producing myself, and like I produce plays and stuff and short films,
Right.
But, nothing to this scale. And so I did a year ago, last August, I did a short film called Father Forgive Me with some other guys produced
Yep.
it. Upstate New York, I played the priest. I played
Yep.
Father D'Angelo. And it was a really dramatic piece.
Yeah,
Really
I remember
dramatic.
you posting about
Oh
it.
yeah, it was really. There's one scene where I really had to really dig deep and and just get these tears out. It's the first
Yeah.
time I ever really
Had to
cried
cry.
like that on a film.
I seen you cry off camera a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
do that,
he cries
yeah.
all the time
All
off
the
camera,
time.
but it's different when the camera's on.
Yeah, definitely different. So the guy that produced that, this guy Don Miller, we just took a liking to me, and we just kept in touch. And he knew that I was a writer, and I showed him. He said, "I want to check out your Charles Street film. Maybe I'll help you produce it." I said, "Okay." And so he liked the script. We kind of went back and forth on it. And then I just thought, all of a sudden, I get this idea for this pilot. I just wanted to do like a little limited series.
Yep.
So I came up with this. It was based off an Italian family that had a business that was their front. That's
Yeah.
all I had.
Right.
And at first, I was thinking like it was going to be maybe a bakery again, or
Right,
a restaurant.
right.
But I was like, nah. And then all of a sudden, I don't know. I can't remember what made me think of a tax office, but I said, let me
How funny was that?
do
Right.
like an office.
Yeah,
But I don't
like
want.
a
I don't want it to
legit-
be like The Office, the series. But
Right.
And so I think that's funny. And then the title, because they say guaranteed is death and taxes.
Right.
So, but this is death or taxes because people go into the office
Right.
and they either want their taxes done,
Or they want someone
they
whacked.
want somebody dead.
So is it a sitcom?
That's
Yeah,
fun. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like a sitcom,
Like
yeah.
a dark comedy.
No, I'm just
Like a
so
doc-
our audience knows.
Yeah.
like a dark comedy series.
Now, when you envision this, are you thinking like the HBO style of comedies, or not?
Oh, yeah.
not network.
No, not network.
I was
It's
going to
more-
say,
it's
yeah,
more-
you can't put this on a network.
No, it's
No.
it's a little darker.
'Cause
The
you-
opening scene, they're
'cause-
killing somebody.
You're
Yeah,
right. I was
right.
going to say because
Yeah.
if you had the death side, you want to be able to show that.
Yeah,
Right.
and like everyone's cast already. I got the crew already.
Yep.
Greg Hall, who did Bread, Butter, and Bullets,
Yep.
is back.
I saw
and he's
that.
going to be filming this. So we have like a really a little crew now to help us.
Yep.
I raised some money already through GoFundMe.
Awesome.
And I'm
And
doing,
you're
a show
doing a show.
on the 21st at the Comedy Park to raise more money. So I got to feed everybody, man. I got to feed these people.
Yeah.
And Joe's in it. Joe actually plays
Gagoots too.
Angelo.
Angelo.
And he's married to Allegra, played
Bartolome.
played by
Karen Leochi.
With the
Leochi.
C.
I love
Karen
it.
with
They're
the
a married
C.
couple.
You know what?
And
She looks like an Allegra. That is so perfect. We've had Karen on the show.
I know, she's
Yeah,
great.
she's
She's
great.
awesome.
Don't forget to say with the C.
Yeah.
That's it. Karen with a C.
And when we did the table read, it was just
She must have been hilarious.
And like they're the couple that do all the hits for the family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love it.
So opening scene is them with this guy in his warehouse who has no idea what's gonna happen.
He's
to
going to
him.
get whacked
Yeah,
by
he
her.
thinks
Oh,
they're
my
friendly. You know,
God.
they're like talking, and
Then they come
Yeah.
out of the shadow.
Did
Yeah.
you do the dishes today?
and exactly like that.
Is
After they
it?
kill somebody, they just talk like
They
a married
start-
couple.
That's
That is
awesome.
brilliant.
That's
Yeah.
such a great idea.
And then Ivana
Bonetti. I've seen her on Facebook, but I never
You know
worked with her.
Ivana.
She's in it. She plays Bella.
Yep.
And she's like the niece, and she's like the receptionist,
Uh-huh.
like the Pam
Yeah.
of the
Yep.
office.
Oh, my God.
And Stacey Kendro,
Stacy, who
plays-
we've had on.
plays another aunt,
Yep.
plays Allegra's sister, and she's
Wow.
more like the mother, the mommy of the whole
Like the
family.
matron of the
Yeah,
family.
she just takes care of everybody, make sure she's like this business person.
Yeah.
And my buddy Mario Canaro, who we've done plays with, we did a short film with him.
Is he Italian?
No, he's actually a Portuguese guy.
Oh, yeah.
French.
Mario-
How do you
yeah,
say
yeah.
French.
He plays Leo, who's a
Uncle Leo.
who's just a long
Jerry?
Long-
Hello.
I know, I thought
Hello.
Leo.
Your cousin
Did you hear about
Jeffrey
your cousin
is good
Jeffrey?
friends with his professor. You know how
Please,
rare that is?
Somebody threw a watch in the garbage.
Go ahead.
Look at this
You
wallet.
know us. We go off on tangents all the time.
I
Fucking
watch.
idiots.
I'm watching Jerry's Seinfeld every night.
Me too. I've been watching it this week
How can you
again
not?
for the
Nothing else
15th
is
time.
on. I just put that on.
Yeah, because it's a quick 22-minute hit. It's
You're
great.
Batman.
It's great.
I am Batman.
It's great. It's great. So Leo's like a longtime family friend. He's
Yep.
not family,
Okay.
But he's the only real accountant.
Oh, so he's the legit person that does the taxes.
Yeah, somebody comes in with taxes, they bring it to Leo.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And,
that's
and
so
actually,
funny.
Mario is a real accountant. It's his office we're using. To
Oh,
film.
that's awesome.
So we're using Mario's office.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and who else? Oh, Bobby Marco. He I don't know if you know him. He was in Poker King with Jack Black.
Oh, I saw the picture on
dressed
the
as a
that
chicken.
you
He was the
did
chicken. He's dancing around in a chicken
in a chicken
costume.
outfit. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a great guy. Down syndrome.
Yeah.
A brilliant actor.
Yep.
I love Bob. He like every time I see him, I can be in the worst mood. He just lights up.
Is he
the
from
room.
Rhode Island?
He's from Rhode
Oh, I
Island.
didn't
He
know
also
that.
memorizes the lines.
And
really
he remember
Better than anyone?
Better than
Of
anyone.
course.
The guy's incredible.
Yeah.
His memory, and he plays. I lost the character's name at the top of my head. Sorry, Bobby. But he's like an adopted brother who basically is the gopher of the office.
Yep.
Gets some people drinks that come in.
Yep.
Yep.
I lived through him. That's
And he's
the one character.
fascinated by 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s.
quotes.
Really?
I lived through that character. I write all the 80s stuff.
Through him.
Awesome.
Because he's always like somebody
Oh,
comes
because
in.
he's into like
He quotes like 80 songs. He
Oh,
says
my
lyrics
God.
to people, and they're like, "Oh, Tears for Fears."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he asks everybody, "Do you like the 80s?" And if
Yeah.
they don't, he gets mad.
He
you know?
gets mad?
So
Really?
it's great. It's great. And then I got a couple of. I did that short film Mob Ghost. And
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have Paul Noonan and Jeff Blanchett in that, and they play
They
all the
were from
characters.
Mob
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah. Paul Noonan plays a guy running for mayor, and then Jeff plays the love interest of Bella's character.
Okay.
And they go on a blind date, and that's all. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah.
No. That's
But
you.
it's
No,
a-
but
it's
that's a great
it's a
synopsis.
30-minute pilot.
You
Yep.
laid a great foundation there,
It's
man.
right.
That's
It's a lot. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
You got some great characters there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because we've talked to a lot of comedy writers on here
Yeah.
about their process and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you're writing something like this, is this something that just came to you, or are you a writer that can sit down and say, I'm gonna write something today?
It has to come. It comes in time.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna have. It's either a character or a storyline,
Something to kind of
So
unplug
you
the
get
block.
this idea, okay,
and it brews.
a tax
for a
office,
long time.
death or taxes,
Yeah.
and then you sit down and start to just form the whole thing, or does each character have to just kind of come to you?
The quickest thing is kind of just a basic plot, and then I do like an outline.
Okay.
Like this scene. This scene, the opening scene, someone's getting killed. I don't know
Yeah.
where, but and then I'm gonna show
that sets the
yeah,
stage
and then
for what really
second
is going
scene,
on.
I'm gonna
Okay.
show the work office, and then and I kind of do like an outline.
So you start at like a 20,000 foot view,
Yeah.
and then slowly zoom your way in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And then like once
it's interesting.
And then I let it brew for a long time. I come up with different. I come up with the names. I try to come up with the names right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once I hit the computer, once I hit my laptop, the final draft program,
Yep.
I kind of want to know the names,
Now,
and I start the dialogue.
Do you have backstories in your head of each character?
Yeah, some of them I do.
Do you? Yeah.
There's one character that comes in, Sarah, who you're like, why did she even come in to get her taxes done?
Right.
But she's gonna, if we do
There's
more
gonna be
episodes,
something after.
She's coming in later. yeah.
right.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
did you, as you were writing it, have people already in mind for the characters?
This one
or
I did.
you do casting?
So you're picturing them,
This one I
as
did,
you're
yeah.
writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kind of knew. I talked to them individually. I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Joe's always.
Joe's the staple.
Joe, can you let Nikki talk?
I know.
please?
Poor Nick hasn't gotten
Can
a
you
word in
let Nikki
edgewise.
talk?
Well, we'll get to you, Joe. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
don't worry, go Goots.
Gagoots, can you turn off his mic, please?
Yeah.
He just won't
I
stop.
don't even know if it's on.
He's just happy to be here.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
But everything I always gonna have Joe. Like
Yeah.
since we met.
Yeah, like Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
I'm just.
we met years ago.
Well, no, there are certain people
That you know you
that are
wanna
great
work with.
character actors
Right.
that you think of guys that do movies like Judd Apatow, people like that. They have
same
people they
guy.
bring in
Certain
all the
people
time.
they like to work with.
Adam
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler.
Yeah.
He has guys that he
Every
always
guy like
puts
that.
in
You
movies.
can do it, guy. I'm like,
Yes,
you can.
You
do
can
it.
do
He's my,
it.
he's my Rob Schneider.
But you know what?
Pick somebody else.
But
Schneider's
yeah,
an asshole.
Schneider's an asshole. But
I like Rob Schneider.
No, we've had a lot of people on here that have worked with Schneider in comedy clubs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he has a horrible reputation.
Oh, really? I can handle him. I'll handle
but-
him. I'll
but-
take care of him.
I'm even
You
thinking
probably
like
could. You
Schneider had a career before. I'm even thinking of like the guys that are in Sandler movies that they're not in anything else but Sandler
Sandler
movies.
movies.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
but you
Oh,
know
yeah.
they're gonna. But
Yeah.
you know they're gonna
Yeah.
be in it. You know, like
Yeah.
the guy that played the cross-eyed football
yeah.
player
Yeah,
in Waterboy. He's in all of every one of
The
them. but
limo
that's the
driver
only-
from Wedding
Yeah.
Singer.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
in First 50 Dates, he was
Well,
like,
he's
he was
one of the
guy that-
writers.
he would lose his memory every 6 seconds.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
5-second Tom or 12-second
talking
Tom.
about that the other day with somebody.
But see, he's a writer. He helps Adam Sandler
he's a
writing.
great character
That's
actor,
but he's a
though.
great character actor.
he's a
Exactly.
great character.
He was in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and the Farrelly brothers, same thing. They have
Yeah.
certain
Look at
comics
Jackie
they
Flynn.
use all that. Flynn is in
Mel
all
Brooks,
of their
even
movies.
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks,
He's
right.
A lot of the same.
Unfortunately, a lot
So,
of the people have been
Joe, you're in good
dead.
company.
People. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the Bernadette Peters
to Nick
for Nikki.
That's good.
And the Bread, Butter, and Bullets was the first thing that we did together.
No,
'Cause
that's
I met him just a few months before. We
Oh,
met
really?
on the set. What's that? Remember
The
that?
Last Shot.
The Last
With
Shot.
Matthew Broderick and
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, was that the one that was?
Jeez.
No, I'm
The
thinking
Last
outside.
Shot.
Isn't that
Project.
ironic that it was called The
Baldwin.
Last Shot?
Is that funny?
Wow. Ooh.
Oh, good
Ironic,
callback.
Talk about foreshadowing.
I didn't hear that. What did you say?
He said that was
ironic that it was The Last Shot, right?
for Alec
Yeah,
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
It was.
That was ironic.
It
yeah.
bombed. The movie bombed.
Oh.
It was.
Yeah.
It was it was like a horrible movie.
But they filmed it.
They kinda
had that
saw-
street
we-
scene. They had a street scene where it was a busy.
yeah. I was an extra.
And that's
We
how
both-
you guys met
I
as
started
extras.
carrying groceries. You
Yeah.
a bag of groceries.
Well-
I was in the taxi.
I got to be an extra in 2 movies. One was a small independent film, and the other one was Zookeeper with Kevin James.
Oh, really?
And both times it got cut from the
yeah.
final.
What about
That
like
happens, man.
You know, sometimes the DVD they have not DVD anymore.
Yeah.
I- no, well,
deleted
the-
scenes and
Actually,
stuff.
that goes
yeah.
to show you what
Funny
what year
story.
I'm living in. There's no DVDs anymore. Right?
Nah.
Funny story, and I never told it on the podcast before, but when Zookeeper came out, I
Yeah.
took my kid. This was 2009, so my oldest daughter at that point was 16. So and the others obviously younger. We go to the movies to see it, watch the movie.
Nothing.
The scene is coming up
That
that I'm
sucks.
going to be in, and I'm like, all right, pay attention. And then as they show it, the camera angles are not the ones that are going to show me.
Yep.
I'm like, shit.
You
So
lied to us, Dad.
I kind of forget
That
about
happened so many times.
but I
man.
kind of forget about it. And then, like a year later, one of my daughters comes home from a birthday party, and she says, "Oh, they had Zookeeper on DVD. We watched the deleted scenes, and I
cool.
saw you."
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Wow.
That's nice.
And I said,
That's
"All
funny.
right, cool. At least there's confirmation." So I'm at City Steam in Hartford one weekend, and we're in the green room, and I tell that story. So the host at the Late Show goes, "This next guy coming to the stage, have you seen Zookeeper with Kevin James? Yeah, you'll only recognize him if you've watched the deleted
That's
scenes."
awesome.
That's a great.
And it
line.
got a huge
great
laugh
line.
from the crowd, and I used that as an intro for a year because it worked
that's
so
a great
well.
intro.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
it worked great.
I was in. I was a background extra in Celtic Pride.
Oh wow.
If you remember that, it was right
who
before
was
they
in that?
tore down the old garden.
Was the guy
Damon
that was-
Wayans, Daniel Stern, the guy from the
Home Alone
Marv
guy.
from Home Alone,
Yeah.
and Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, wow.
And I got to throw popcorn at those
I
guys,
don't
at
think I've
Dan
ever seen that
Aykroyd.
movie.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen it either.
I don't think anyone's seen it.
I was literally a row behind John Havlicek, Bob Cousy, and Red Auerbach.
Do you know how many comics
Oh,
used
every comic was in that.
extra in Fever Pitch because they were at one of the Red Sox
Yeah,
games they were filming
they were at Fenway.
with 60,000 other people?
Yeah. No, there was only 400 of us, and then some cardboard
Fever,
cutouts.
that was with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, that was
Right?
Jimmy Fallon and Drew
Was that
Barrymore.
a Folly Brother movie?
I think it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's like Howie Mason saying that I shared the stage with Steve
With
Martin
Steve
and
Martin.
Martin Short.
Yeah,
Nice.
because he went to go see him and got called up on
Got
stage.
called up on
I
stage.
saw that on
to do,
Facebook.
to do
That
the
was
Three
cool.
Amigos song,
That was
which
cool.
which was an awesome moment for me, but I did not share the stage with them, and I'm not using that as an intro because that's bullshit.
As opposed to
But it was an amazing moment.
Brad
Nice.
Pierce.
What a great moment.
As opposed to Brad Pierce, who says that Seinfeld and Gaffigan
Opened
for
up
him
for him.
because they dropped in at the club and bumped him.
I remember that. I remember seeing that as
Well, we
well.
all remember that meltdown.
Made for a great story. But anyway,
so you came up with these ideas. You had these characters in your head. You actually had people in mind
Yeah.
already as you're writing it, which probably helped because now you're probably injecting, like, let's face it, Karen Leochi is a personality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're probably injecting some of her
I
natural.
catered to them.
right,
Right,
right. So now
exactly.
you're just writing the dialogue for the personality that's
Yeah.
already there.
And it worked because when we did our first table read
Yeah.
weeks
It's
ago.
funny.
Oh man, it was just funny, and especially Ivana. Every time like she just spoke,
Yeah.
reading her lines, we were all like pissing our
Laughing?
pants. Oh yeah, it was just
Really?
funny. It was just so funny. So I'm excited. to
That's
do this.
awesome.
We have our
That's
dates set already. We're doing 4 days in August.
Oh,
We're
nice.
filming 4 days in August.
So and we'll put this in the show notes. The Comedy Park on the 21st of July. So this should come out before then, right? We could put this out
Yeah.
before then.
Yeah.
This episode will be out on the regular formats before then, but we'll put it in the show notes, the GoFundMe page. He doesn't need to raise that much. I think, what is it, $3,000 you're trying to raise?
Yeah.
So-
like the most. I mean, even if I get to 2,
Yeah.
it's just because it's.
And you're
it's-
already, I think,
You're getting
as of
close. You're
earlier,
getting close
before
to
the
it.
show, it
We're
was
getting
up to
close.
1,300.
I had people,
so.
some people donate
Outside of that?
that don't like to go online to GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
Well,
like to do
and-
any of
Yeah,
that.
like your grandmother, she's like, "Here,
Yeah,
Nikki,
yeah,
here's
yeah.
a $100 bill."
And you know, if I get the link, I'll put that in the show notes.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's what
all
I
right.
mean.
Yeah, I'll put the
Thank
actual
you.
GoFundMe in the
Yeah,
show
and,
notes.
all the tickets go right to. I get 100% of tickets, and we're gonna have some raffles. Not a lot of, just like
Yeah.
2 or 3 items. Like one of them.
This is at the comedy show
One's
at
like
the
a
Comedy
Dunkin'
Park.
Donuts basket.
But it's kind of
know.
cool to be,
And some
if you
surprises.
donate to the GoFundMe, you're part of an independent artist that's building something,
Right.
And it's kind of a feel-good thing.
Well-
that they get to be part of that. So when they watch it, they're like, you know what? I helped that.
Well, and that's part of if
that's
they
what
give,
the cool thing is.
If they give $25 or more, they get to actually come to a private screening.
We're gonna do a
of-
private screening
of
this
the-
fall
of the episode.
of the pilot.
Yeah.
and I was gonna show a documentary that I was gonna be doing.
Yep.
But there's something happened with a lot of the footage that I was gonna use.
Oh, really?
So I kind of, but not doing that anymore. But I'm hoping to show Mob Ghost.
Oh, cool.
So
Very
we'll
cool.
We'll still be showing some other
Something
special
else.
stuff. Yeah,
That's good.
So we're gonna show Mob Ghost, the short film I did,
Yep.
and the pilot.
Where are you going to do the screening?
I'm not sure yet. I'll
Yeah.
find a
Yeah.
spot because I just got to see how many people are gonna come.
Right, that's the thing. Yeah,
Once I know the size, then
exactly.
I can pick
Then
the
you pick
location.
the location, right?
Maybe we'll do it in my backyard. I don't know.
So,
no, I'm kidding.
So besides this is the project that's like first and foremost, front and center. But you've got these other 2 projects that are going on as well, right? You've got the documentary that you're working on.
Well, that's gonna be it's held off for now.
okay.
So,
but tell the audience a little bit about what your what your plan is.
Well, the documentary was something I was gonna actually work on with my son, my oldest Santino.
Santino?
Yeah, because he does a lot of editing and stuff like that. So I was gonna go do like the history portion of the Last Sicilian, like the history of Sicily,
background,
the background
yeah.
stuff. and then leading up to my childhood in Charles Street.
Yep.
Kind of like what the neighborhood was like. And,
Yeah.
and I had I had some footage from tapes
Yep.
that I transferred onto like a drive
Yep.
of like all 80s stuff, like when I was a kid.
Yep.
And it's misplaced right now, so
Ah,
if
that's
I can't
why.
find it, I got to go through the whole process of digitizing everything again. So it kind of it's
Yeah.
going to delay us.
Well, if you go a little further back, I've got some footage of Charles Street during the 1978 blizzard.
oh wow,
cool.
yeah,
Oh,
I got
Charles
photos,
Street.
but you have video.
I
like
got
actual-
video.
Oh really?
yeah.
Oh,
I got
wow.
video of Charles Street and Branch Avenue going down to Star Market, 146,
Wow.
where cars were like literally stranded
Buried.
for days.
Yeah, buried.
Yeah, my dad had taken some Super 8 film, and I have it on DVD, Joe.
Oh wow.
Got the DVD.
You had to transfer it over.
Yeah,
That's-
I had to transfer it over from the thing. You just got that. Good. All right, Joe's quick. Goots.
Goods is quick.
Yeah, he's quick.
He doesn't look
And
it,
so what?
but
and-
he's fast.
And so talk a little bit, because I love what you said in the video about your film, like independent film production company, because you want to give other people the opportunity to have their dreams come true
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So talk
So,
a little bit
well,
about that.
I
And I
named-
love the name.
I named it Il Mio. Il Mio means my own in Italian. And so
Close enough.
Isn't that cool?
It's
It is. I like that.
So it's Il Mio films, my own films. And it's just like I said in the video, it's something I always did. I always did like stand up as stand ups, right? It's our own. It's us.
Right.
Yes.
You know, and then I did my own, I wrote my own plays and produced those, and I did my own like short films and series, and I was like, now I got to take the next step. I want to get into feature film and TV stuff. So it just came naturally, Il Mio.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
Makes sense.
I have this dream, and just once it gets going, and then just people, other people will come and say, hey Nick, I got this idea.
Right.
I have this script. Like it's not much. It's like a small budget. Can you help me?
Right.
I would love to help produce that.
Yeah.
And have El Mio be like the guide.
Right.
And help them get this.
Get
film
their
made.
dreams
yeah, help
made,
Get the
right.
crew together and everybody, and
Yep.
maybe they want me to direct it for them, or they want me to be in it. I don't
Right,
care.
right.
I'll do whatever it takes to help them out.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
something
and-
that I have to. It has to be. It can't be some like crazy. Like I wouldn't do some crazy slasher movie. Like,
Right.
I want to do something that has like a little bit of meaning
Right,
to that
right.
person. Like
Right.
Something that's sentimental, something that's just really personal to them, or
Right.
it's a great story.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things I want
Yeah,
to
it's,
do.
it's their dream. It's
Yeah.
it's something they've had in their head for a long
Exactly,
time.
exactly.
And the good thing is, like you said, you've worked with so many different actors between your own productions, the Brotherhood when they
Yeah.
were in. I mean,
Yeah. And
we all
working on so many other stuff.
and there's so much talent in New England that you could pull from, and especially anything Italian.
Yeah.
You've got so much talent in New England. I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it. Frank Santarelli and John Fiore, right up in
yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
Armin Garrow,
Yeah.
these are guys that were on The Sopranos and have legit acting credits. Not that our acting credits, not that our extra work isn't.
I was
going
going to say, my friend, don't discount yourself.
Yeah, I'm
Box
sorry.
man.
Yeah, I was the box man, but
I remember that.
yeah, but there's so much talent in New England to draw from.
Yeah.
And to be able to help people who are like, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's like these projects are non-union. And,
Yep.
That's I'm just directing them.
Yeah.
I'm not in them. But eventually, yeah, like guys like that you mentioned, I would.
Yeah,
love,
you
the-
could
the-
get
the
union actors.
I want to step up and do a
Right,
union project.
right,
And
right,
I actually
right.
have an idea. I'm working on a script right now.
Really?
It's in the brewing process, and I have it outlined. So I'm always got something like because
Right.
I'm already thinking, hey, when I'm done with this, what am I gonna do?
What am
What's
I
your
gonna
next
do?
project?
Right.
I already got something
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So I have to. I don't know why. It's just the way I am.
No, you're because
that's the way I-
creative people, that's how we are.
Yeah.
We have to have some sort of outlet. Like, look, even though we both work day jobs,
Yeah.
we need that creative outlet. This was a short week. We only had 3 days. I literally, in 24 hours, flew to Tallahassee, flew back, got back earlier today, had a conference call until 5:15. I can't wait to get on fucking stage tomorrow night because
Yeah.
I'm doing a fundraiser tomorrow night,
Yeah.
and then I'm up in New Hampshire on Saturday. I need that outlet
Yeah.
because I'll kill myself
you'll go
if all I
crazy.
did
You'll go
was
crazy.
just the day job,
Yeah, you'll
you
go
know?
nuts.
So for someone who's only doing creative stuff, I get it. You have to let that out. And I love the fact that you know how to take advantage of, all right, I'm blocked right now. I got writer's block. But But then once you know what unblocks that. All right, let me come up with some characters. Let me come up with their names. Let me think of them.
Sometimes
I don't know what they're going to do yet.
Sometimes it's time.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have anything, and you just
Right.
step away. You go watch something, or go do something. Take a ride, listen to music.
Yep.
And something's gonna something unblocks it for you.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's just time. Could be a day, 2 days, a week. Who knows?
Right.
You know.
Are you a writer that's, they talk about like a stream of conscious writer when you get an idea, you just kind of get it on paper and then go back to it later and kind of pull it together? Or are you a person that can kind of write fully formed?
No, it's sometimes it's like just like I said, it's an idea. You put it down and you leave it, and I just go back to it.
And say,
sometimes
am I ready yet?
It's
No.
not ready. Sometimes I just shred it up as it didn't work. Like,
Right.
it didn't work. Oh, then all of a sudden, wait a minute. The tack.
Then you're working on another project and you're like, oh shit, that thing I threw away from the last project would work here.
Yeah, that's happened too.
Yeah,
that's
because
happened
I
too.
can only associate obviously writing jokes to
yeah.
that, and I'll constantly like say stuff in the memos in my phone.
Yeah.
And I go back, and sometimes I'm like, oh shit, that was funny. I got to write that out, and then I'll start writing it out and try to figure it out. And then other times I'll listen. I'll
What
go,
the fuck was
"What?"
I thinking?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
How many times have you done that? Going, I don't even know what that means.
This isn't even
Did
funny.
I write this?
That doesn't
Yeah.
make any. Is that English?
What was the date?
What was I
What
saying?
was the date on this? What was I doing that night? Was I drunk?
Was Ace and I at the cigar bar that
Yeah.
night? Because
I got
I
a
don't
great
remember
idea.
what the
Yeah.
hell that is.
Exactly.
Because I just kind of get it out.
Yeah.
Whatever
Right.
when the idea comes to me, I got to get it out immediately because I don't know how many times the next day I was like, oh, what the fuck was I thinking last night? That was so funny.
Right.
I can't remember what it
Oh,
is.
that sucks
So
when
I,
that happens.
I got to get it out immediately or I'm not going to remember.
Yeah, yeah. I like. I don't know if it's like I said, it brews, but once it comes to me, and then it's like boom. I'm on
You're on a street.
I'm on that
Yeah.
laptop. I don't get up for like hours. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got to get everything out.
Right.
And even if I get to a scene, I have no dialogue, but I have the outline. I know.
Right.
I know what's gonna happen.
Right.
But I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get there.
Right.
But it happens. So.
Well, and then you give it some time, like you said, and then 2-3 days later, you come back, you go to the outline, you go, oh, I know exactly what they're gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love digging into
this is
writers and
listen.
how they write because Bobcat
too.
Goldthwait talked one time about how he had an idea for a movie and he just checked into a motel. He said it was a shitty old motel, checked himself into the room and sat there for 2 days and just kept ordering like pizza and stuff like that and just kept punching away until he had the finished
He
product
just called
at the
the
end
front
of it.
desk and was like,
I need some pizza. Where's the Domino's? Can I get a slice of pepperoni?
That's a good one.
My mother's name was Jughead.
yeah. I remember that one.
I always remember that one. Police Academy.
That didn't hurt.
That hurt.
Doesn't take much.
No, but
How about in Below?
Bait
Remember in
me.
Below? I
Oh.
can't feel my face.
he was awesome in Below. That's such
Everybody
a
knew
good
it was him.
movie.
That was a great
No,
movie.
And
No.
so you saw the credits, like Bobcat.
No one knew.
No one knew it was Pee Wee Herman.
No one knew
Paul
Paul
Rubens.
Rubens
I knew
was in
that.
it.
I knew that.
No, but I'm just saying he wasn't his traditional Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. It's true. And
I
he's a
like
freak-
you,
he's a
Johnny.
prick in
Like
that.
you.
They all betrayed their friends, man. In
Right.
that movie.
Yeah.
It was
It
great.
was horrible.
you.
I like you, Johnny.
Like you.
Like you.
There's too many things you don't want. Never mind. Too many things you couldn't understand. Too many things you shouldn't understand.
Too many things you wouldn't understand.
Goodbye, Johnny.
Francis is taking his bath right now.
Oh, yeah? Where are they hosing him down?
I had to tee that one up for
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
It's a classic.
All
man.
he has to
I
do is
smash
tee
up.
up any impression, and I just go
No,
into
but
it.
that
love
big,
doing that.
He's a Big Adventure, man.
Oh my God!
One
One of the
Tim
best.
Burton's first feature.
Yep.
It was
And
great.
I still remember the night going to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the theater.
Yes.
The opening weekend with my brother and his friends. That's how much an impression
And
it
you
was on
almost-
me.
the opening scene of him waking up
Yeah.
and the
It
breakfast.
was great.
You're sitting there when you saw that for the first time, and he does, the Mr. T cereal.
I pity the poor fool who don't eat my cereal.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're like, this is the greatest movie.
The energy
I've
in the
ever
audience
seen.
is unbelievable.
Yes,
It was
yes.
sold out.
It was
Everybody
hilarious.
was going
Cracking up.
crazy.
Like
Yep.
those days I miss. Like I don't
You
think
know what I
don't
wanna
think
know?
kids experience movies
No,
like
like
that,
that.
No,
anymore.
no.
A packed house.
And the crowd standing up
Everybody
clapping at
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I loved
Yes.
about it?
It's so
I,
true.
I would love to know if Tim Burton purposely meant to show certain things behind, like
The chain.
the chain coming out of the side
It's coming
saddle.
up the
and it's
bottom.
coming
Why would
up.
they catch that?
Right.
That had to be.
That had to be on purpose.
Yeah.
and then
'Cause it
when-
was way too
when him
obvious.
and,
Or they
when-
did a mistake. They're like, forget it. He's leaving.
no,
Yes,
but I almost think that they did it on purpose. And then the
Because
other
it was
one
such
is
a campy movie. Just leave it in.
when him and Mickey are driving and they're going by the road signs and you see the road signs on a dolly
Yes.
being pushed by
Yes.
by the car.
You see the
like
track.
the car's
I
not
never
moving.
even noticed that.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, watch it again.
Now I'm gonna notice.
Watch it
Yes.
again.
Notice
You will
that?
notice it.
Joe, did you notice that?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Top Secret.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Another great
No,
one.
but they did that with the train effect.
Yes,
Yes.
The
yes.
pulleys.
And
Yes.
the eye,
Val Kilmer's first movie.
the eye,
Am I actually talking?
yeah, you are. The magnifying glass was the best.
I-
when he takes the
That stuff
magnifying
is
glass and
classic.
his one big eye.
I think you've said 7 words
I know.
total.
Come
but
on,
you
Joe.
know.
I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.
Yeah,
Wasn't that Top Secret?
Yes, yes.
Saying, she was saying goodbye to everybody.
latrine. Oh, that was a great movie.
Val Kilmer.
And Val Kilmer's last words in the movie was,
Stop. Okay, thank you,
That was
folks.
good.
That's been our
I
show.
The show's canceled.
The show is canceled. I'm canceling the show.
Did you see Val, the documentary?
Yes, it was
it was a
heartbreaking.
great documentary. It really was.
I was in tears.
but
I
but
felt-
absolutely
I
heartbreaking.
felt so bad. I was in tears
Heartbreaking.
watching it. I felt so bad because he's one of my favorites.
Oh,
he
no,
made
he's
so
the-
many great movies.
Incredible movies.
Real
He-
Genius. Real
Real
Genius.
Genius. He is one of
Yeah.
my all-time favorite
One,
movies.
one of the best movies ever in the 80s. If you've never seen Real Genius, people out there,
Yep.
you don't know 80s movies. It's just
And when he
great
played
movie.
Nick
No.
Rivers, that was his character in Top Secret. Nick
I
Rivers.
literally watched Heat about a month ago. It was on HBO.
Heat.
HBO.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was going through, and his character in Heat was great.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, every character in Heat was great, but that's just still stands the test of time. That movie.
Oh, it's excellent. Excellent. All the Doors. He played Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
just a
he
great
was
actor.
great as Jim
Yeah.
Morrison,
Became Jim Morrison.
and he
Yep.
sang some of the songs actually on the soundtrack. You know,
Yeah. He's at the
know
the
what they-
Johnny Depp level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he just
Yeah.
becomes these
Yeah.
characters.
He becomes the character. And that's, I think, when that came out, when the Doors came out, they said in the review, it was like, Val Kilmer embodies Jim Morrison the way Nick Albanese embodies Buddy Cianci. I remember it. It was
Yeah,
in-
that's what
it
it's
was in the
in the
New York
paper.
Times.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
I think it was in the L.A. Reporter
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
It was in the Central Falls.
Yeah, the Central
brochure.
Falls.
They said it was,
Gazette.
and the Fall River Weekly.
yes, I believe.
And
I-
the Providence Phoenix
Yeah.
said it as
Oh,
well.
wow, the Phoenix.
the
The Phoenix said that
I
Val
thought-
Kilmer's performance is second only
to
To-
Nick Albanese
As Buddy.
Buddy Cianci, yes.
And then real small line, and Cahoots was okay
And
too.
Cahoots was good too.
Oh, at least
no,
I got
you know
mentioned.
what?
That's good.
You played Cahoots very well because you were just you played it quiet.
Quiet.
Kind of like what you are now.
Yeah, quiet.
But quiet, almost like a bodyguard. You would speak when spoken to.
Right.
Like I could imagine Buddy's bodyguard assistant being quiet. You would smirk and smile every once
But
in a
aware.
while
Yeah.
in a way that was like, yeah, I work for this guy. I'm entertained by him too.
Did
That's
you-
why I work with him.
Did you guys see when Will Ferrell did his Broadway show? They showed it on HBO. George W. Bush.
Oh my God!
No, I
that was
remember he
great.
did that. I never
But
saw it.
he did a Broadway
I
show
came in- I
called
came in on a
One
helicopter.
Last Night, You're Welcome, America.
Yeah.
And he had a Secret Service guy
Yeah.
that stood on stage with him, and every once in a while the Secret Service guy would do a little wink, a little
Yeah.
move, a little something like that.
That's what
And
Joe was like.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking as you're describing it. And it was perfect. It added just the right thing at the right time. The timing was perfect.
I like when he came down on the helicopter.
Yeah, at the
ladder. He's
beginning,
like, came
and-
down
Oh,
on
really?
the ladder.
and
That's
on the
cool.
big screen behind him, they show victory, like when he landed on the ship. And he goes, "Y'all remember that shit?"
Yeah.
Oh, is that not, can
it's
I
still
watch
on-
that somewhere?
If you have HBO Max, you can still see it.
Probably
I don't
still
have
on
it.
there.
It
yeah.
was that one man show that he did
was hilarious.
is hilarious.
Yeah, see, now Joe's all his whatever lines he spoke in it were all improv. So
Really?
but nothing in the script. So that,
But a lot
you
of
gave him the
times-
freedom to do
yeah,
that.
we just kind of
Yeah, but a lot of times it was just yes, Mr. Mayor. You know, like you were the obedient.
But that's the
servant to
subtlety
Buddy.
of that
And-
performance.
exactly.
That's what it should
No,
be.
he made some comments.
You
I
didn't.
think
You
he
didn't
made
make
some
him go
comments.
get cheeseburgers to feed them to your dog, like in Crime Town when they described
Oh,
Buddy's
no,
behavior.
I
yeah.
didn't do that.
Offset. We had cheeseburgers the other night.
Yeah,
Did
we
you?
had- I've been eating cheeseburgers for like 3 days in a row now.
You want to go?
He's
Scott's
so
over here
good.
knocking my chair over here.
So,
So
yeah, he improv and the very last performance we did was when was it? August? Oh no, September last year at the Granite Theater.
That was nice.
Oh,
yeah,
Westerly.
down in
You did it
Westerly.
down there?
And that was my favorite
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was actually the way I envisioned it.
There's a lot of people. Like my aunts live in Westerly. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
was gonna
Providence
say, how-
people that have moved down to
You know,
Westerly.
you did it at the Comedy Park. You did it
For
in
a
Westerly.
week.
Where else did you do
We
it?
did Comedy Park for a week in June, and then
Yeah.
we did July at the Pub on Park.
Pub on Park.
Pub on
yeah.
Park.
Right down the street.
Yep.
And you
that
did
was a good size audience.
Yep.
and
And then in September we did one night
Granite.
only at the Granite.
one night
That's
only.
awesome.
What was the difference in the crowds at the 3 different places?
You-
Any difference at
Joe,
all?
you want to answer
One
that?
was
I'll
like
give you
this, and then another was like that.
That's kind of
Wow.
how he talked. Yeah.
This fucking guy over here with his fucking
One was
descriptions.
like a pie wedge. One was
The-
a square room.
see, the-
no,
That
but
was
I'm
a
just
theater.
saying the reactions from
No,
the crowd.
yeah,
So
the-
the
the
energy.
Probably
Was there any
Sunday, right? It was a
difference?
lesser crowd Sunday, right? On a Sunday.
And the Sundays,
But the reception from the crowd
But it was
was
good.
it the same
No, they were kinda
everywhere?
they were focused on everything, and they laughed when they were supposed to laugh.
yeah, the audiences were the same. I think
Because
they
I would think a
responded.
Westerly crowd's going to be different than a Providence or a
Yeah.
Cranston crowd.
I
Well, the
don't know.
audience was more focused because it was set up for.
Because it's
Yeah,
it's a
stage.
performance.
It's a
all
yeah,
performance,
right.
and that's why I envisioned it when I wrote it for a
Right.
theater.
Right,
Yeah.
like
But when I was looking for a spot, I was doing a lot. I was planning on doing it at like Theater 82, where I did all my
Right,
plays.
right.
But I don't know, something's going on there where it
didn't
wasn't
have the
working.
availability.
It wasn't
Yeah.
working. They're not doing much there anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
told
Bill
you to go.
Simus reached out to me because he heard from Mike Cronin.
Yeah.
He's working on this buddy thing, and so Bill reached out to me. I called him back, and I said, "All right, let me go check out the space."
Yeah.
And this is when he was building the room. and
Right,
I said,
right.
"I think I'll make it work.
Yeah.
I'll change it to fit a comedy. club."
right,
Right.
You know, he's gonna give me a whole week straight.
Right.
Yeah, why not?
right.
Yeah. So
Why not?
And every night was packed.
It was
Those
awesome.
2 Sunday matinees, like maybe 30 people,
Yeah.
but
Still,
it was fine.
that
Yeah,
ru-
it was
that
a good
ru-
crowd.
That
It was a good
room,
crowd.
30 people can feel
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And they were into it. And the best thing about it was when I liked when I first come out and we came out.
You
this-
come from the back.
Yeah, I come from the back
Yeah.
and the Sinatra song's playing. That's Life.
Yeah.
And I got the sauce in my hand.
Yep.
And I got the cigarette. I'm coming in, and just the faces.
It was like
people-
Buddy was walking in the
people were
fucking
like,
room.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, inside, I'm playing the character, but inside, you're having a conversation.
Yeah,
with
you're
yourself.
like, holy
I'm,
shit.
I'm like, look at this. These people think I'm Buddy.
Yeah.
Like they were in awe.
Yep.
Was it older crowds?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly
I,
older.
Yeah, but
I
you
would
had-
think because that's who really knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there were
Right.
people who actually work with them, and they.
Right, yeah. The night that I
So that's how we
went,
got
or
the-
the day that I went, there was someone that said, I worked in
you
Buddy's
look like him.
office,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
there's a woman that was his accountant for 30
Yeah.
years.
Really?
And I was talking to her afterwards.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just talking as myself, but I'm still just like
Yeah,
Buddy.
of course.
And she stops the conversation. She goes, I'm kind of freaked out right now.
That's all. That's a high
I'm
compliment.
like, wow.
Absolutely.
That's a high compliment.
And then the other
What
guy.
did you have me do? You had me give you
Oh,
the bribe or
money.
something.
Was it you that did it?
Yeah.
We
You
picked
gave it to
somebody
me, I
every
think.
night to
Yeah.
give Buddy an envelope when he came in.
Yeah. So he hands
That's
me an
awesome.
envelope before the show. He
That's
goes,
awesome.
listen, as I'm walking in, just hand me this envelope. I'll shake my hands, or shake hands, or you said you went like this, and Joe took it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want his
and
hands
Joe
touching
takes
it.
and
Joe
puts
takes
and
it.
puts it in his
That's
jacket.
perfect.
Yep.
So it was a
Perfect.
little joke, you know.
It was funny.
But
you know?
one night there was this guy. I won't mention names. I don't want to embarrass him in case he's here. And we gave it.
over
Joe
there?
gave him the envelope, and he was supposed to do that. And
Yeah.
I go over to his table, and I see the envelope right there, and he's like, this.
He's in awe.
He's like froze like a Dan headlight.
Really?
And I'm like, give me the fucking envelope. Give me the envelope.
Right.
And he didn't do
He
it.
didn't do it.
And afterwards, he's like, sorry, man, I froze. I got nervous.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh man, you ruined the pit.
But again, you walked in and commanded that room like Buddy would.
Yeah.
You waved like Buddy waved, like
shaking, kissing.
dude, shaking
I was kissing
hands.
the Don't forget the
yeah.
cigar.
With
I
the-
think
with
I
the
told
little-
the
yeah.
story once before. I met him once.
Yeah.
I used to work at Inskip in Warwick Car Company.
Yeah.
And every year they did a luxury car showcase. They'd invite everybody in Rhode Island, who's who.
Yeah.
Brad Faxon would come.
Somehow I wasn't invited.
Somehow you got left off the list. I don't know. I wasn't in charge of the invite list
Yeah.
back then. But Buddy got invited every year. And what was amazing about Buddy is
Photographic memory.
guys from the Patriots would come in. Jim Rice from the Red Sox would come in, and they were all hanging out with all the VIP customers. Buddy would walk away from the VIP customers and walk back to all of us workers.
He wanted to be with the common folk.
Yeah.
Yes.
He just wanted to be with them.
Yes,
it.
and he would chat with all of us, and instantly you liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was charming and funny, shake all our hands and talk to us.
Yeah.
And we're standing in the back of the room because we're there to work.
Right.
But instantly you liked him. Like within 10 seconds
Yeah.
of
But
meeting
he
him,
had a
you
f-
couldn't help but liking
Yeah.
him.
He
like
had
the
a
guy.
photographic memory
Yes.
too, because he'd be in a parade and you'd see him going, "Hey, oh Johnny, how's your Aunt Betty? Is she out of the hospital?"
the memory was
Like
unbelievable.
And
Johnny's in the parade going, "Yeah, she's doing great. She's
I mean,
doing great. Thanks for asking." Like it
this is
wasn't
like that-
bullshit.
Yeah,
Dude,
he was meant for politics.
this was like
Oh my
19.
God.
He was meant to be a politician.
I want to
yeah.
say this is like 93, 94 when I met him.
Yep.
And I haven't forgotten it to this day because he just walked over, shook my hand, introduced himself. You said your name, and he stood there and talked to us for 10 minutes. And you're laughing and you feel relaxed. And it's
And
like,
then your wallet was gone.
Yeah, right.
No,
my
listen,
watch, my
I think
wallet.
I told you. I think I told you.
and I was wearing
back
a
in the
fossil
day,
watch. It wasn't even a good one.
when he first ran for mayor.
Like fossil.
When he first ran for mayor in Providence, I think I was like 4 or 5, and they would host backyard parties
Yeah.
for him
Yeah.
to raise money, backyard fundraisers, and all of a sudden it's like, Buddy's here,
Yeah.
and it was like everyone had like food and shit like that, and
Yeah, right from the beginning, man. The charisma.
oh my
and-
God,
Yeah.
the
and-
charisma!
and
I
if he
remember
wasn't
meeting
if
him.
he
It was
wasn't
like
a politician, he would definitely
could've been
would have
a movie star.
a stand-up comic.
yeah.
Oh, I
he
used to
was-
listen to his radio
He was
show.
like he was a comedian.
His
he was
cadence,
hilarious.
he didn't sound like Rodney, but his cadence was
Yes.
Rodney's
Yeah,
cadence.
yes.
I could see him
Good.
doing right. No respect.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
Dude,
that's
yeah.
a
The
great
FBI.
comparison.
The FBI is always on my tail. No respect.
but it wasn't. But he didn't do the voice.
Hey,
but,
let me talk into the mic. I don't know who's there.
But he didn't do the voice. He did the cadence of Buddy.
Yeah.
I mean of Rodney,
Rodney,
where
yeah.
he would
I
be
know what you
like,
mean.
"Yeah, so I'm in the Providence pamphlet again." What do they got? 3 pages. And that's the way he would talk.
Yeah.
It was that cadence of talking, and that's what endeared him to people because he seemed like a normal,
yeah.
funny,
He
down to earth guy.
He could talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Talk to anybody.
And what was funny, I want to get back to that last show, Westerly,
Yeah.
because it was set up the way I envisioned it, and
An actual theater.
the other
200
performances,
seats.
I had to run the slideshow.
Right,
Yeah,
I-
right.
you know,
They
the-
have a sound
They
guy.
had it.
Yeah.
I
forgot
can't
his
think of
name,
her
too.
name. There was
Oh.
this girl that works at the Granite. She ran the lights when I came
Mm-hmm.
in. She put the music on. She did my slideshow. So all I had to do,
Was play the
Focus
character.
on
yeah.
just
Be the character.
Yeah.
and we did a lot of improv. Right that night,
Yeah.
we did more improv
Because you probably felt most comfortable
Oh,
just being in the
Because
character.
you didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
great. And I was saying things that right.
Yeah.
Even Joe was like, "Where the heck
Where
that
did
come
that
from?"
come from?
Now-
Right.
And we were like joking with each other. And
Yep.
What was that thing? I pretend I'm skinny. I pretend I'm skinny. I'm trans slender. I threw a line.
Just made it up.
I threw a
Yeah.
line in there, and I said, "You too, right? Good. Say yeah."
Yeah.
And like the place just cracked up. And then I do a Q&A, and
Yeah.
that went on like another half hour.
Wow.
Just talking to people.
crazy.
Like, and one lady, she was like, "Would you please just run for governor?"
Oh, yeah.
She like wanted me
Like
to
she
run.
thought you were real. Right.
Like, she wanted me to
exactly.
run for governor.
That's how good it was. I'm telling you.
That's how good he
I was like, I would
Yeah.
never run. I said I would never get into politics.
Yeah, no.
And
Now-
people like you'll get like 30% just because you look like.
Just-
it.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. That's how much they loved him.
Right. Yeah.
Joe, now
You said it. You were Buddy's illegitimate son.
Yes,
You'd
yeah.
get the votes.
Buddy Jr.
Yeah, Buddy Jr.
Now, Joe, all those times, all those performances, did you ever try to mess with them when you improv the line just to see
No, actually, I was pretty tame, but there was sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
But
Were
for
you
the most part,
tempted to just?
Yeah, no, I was tempted
No,
to
he's
just-
afraid. He was afraid I get mad.
Let me see if I could just throw him off a
I was
little bit and
definitely-
see
I
how
was
he does
definitely
with
tempted
this.
to do that,
He
but
was
I like,
afraid he wouldn't end up in death or taxes.
Yeah.
No, he would end up in
Yeah.
just the death part.
Yeah, the death scene, the original, the opening
Yeah,
scene.
He'd be in the opening scene.
Yeah, Karen would kill you.
Karen, that's all the money we had, Karen.
It's all the coke that we had.
Karen.
Oh, she's great. She's so funny.
She,
man.
oh yeah, we had her on a couple of
I
months
watched
ago.
that
She was
one. Yeah, I
great.
saw
Yeah,
that.
she did great. She was great.
She
So,
crushed.
all right, so you've got this going on. You've got the documentary kind of on hold,
Yeah.
pending finding a thumb drive,
And then the movie
and
Charles
then the movie
Street.
Charles Street.
Yeah, Charles
So-
Street. Yeah, that was.
And you've got investors for
Yeah,
that.
I wrote that like way before the
Yeah.
Death to Taxes, and kind of like just polishing it up, and did a table read of that, so I can hear the dialogue out loud, and
Yep.
then went back to it and rewrote some things.
Yep.
and, added a few more things to it, and so the whole time, and then Don and my friend Bob, he's an actor. He's going to actually be in it too. They're both contributing, investing
awesome.
in the movie.
I wish I was Italian so I could be in one of his movies.
I am Italian. I want to be in the movie. I grew up on Charles Street.
I'm gonna dye my hair black.
No, I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing a lot of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
man. I'm doing.
If you ever need an Irish guy,
I'll let you know.
all right, all right. If you need an Irish guy that gets whacked by the
That's the
Italians or
Yeah,
something,
if you need an Irish guy that looks like Macaulay Culkin 40 years later.
yeah, a
His
fat
wedding
middle-aged
picture?
Macaulay
Yeah.
Culkin.
If you
I'm
need
your
that.
guy.
If you ever saw his wedding photos,
Oh,
I literally posted, and your wife even
Yes.
liked it. She started laughing. He looked like fucking Macaulay Culkin
Oh,
when he was
really?
younger. Yeah,
You could have been doing.
could have been in Home Alone.
You could have been
Exactly.
I was a fat Macaulay Culkin.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why they passed on you.
That's why. Exactly. No, but so what else?
Just like him. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, fuck you all.
Don't get him that excited. No, so that's going to be like the next big thing that you're going to work on.
Yeah, once we do we're filming the 4 days
Yep.
in
August.
and then I think by the 19th, they're not all in a row. There's like
Mm-hmm.
2 days and then another day separate. We're doing a restaurant scene. We're actually doing it up at Billy Manzo's
Federal Hill
in
Pizza.
Warren.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Tuesday, they close on the Tuesdays. Let me. Use
Oh,
the
nice.
place.
Nice.
For the audience that doesn't know, Billy Manzo, great local guy,
Great pizza.
Federal Hill Pizza, and now he actually just got investors, and now he's making a frozen pizza, but
For the markets, right?
for the markets, but it's all fresh ingredients.
Yeah.
Like
Is that the pizza you brought us the first time you were on the podcast?
I brought that pizza.
actually
Yes.
it was.
I did
It
That
was.
was
Yeah.
excellent pizza.
Billy
I was,
Excellent
I was
pizza.
with Billy. I said, I'm going to this podcast, Billy. Can I? And he's like, yeah, bring this pizza.
Yeah.
That's
It was-
right.
yep.
Excellent pizza.
So
Great.
he's making frozen pizzas now,
Yeah.
but like I saw, he's got a ton of videos on the
Yeah.
production and
Yeah, he's a
stuff like
character,
that.
too. He's
Oh yeah, well, and one of his investors is oh my god, I just saw Ferrucci.
Oh,
That used to be with Alex Anani. Giovanni Ferrucci.
is it Gianni Ferrucci?
Gianni
I can't think of
Ferrucci.
it.
Oh my god, I'm losing his name.
Is there
But I'm
anybody
Facebook friends
without
with
a
him.
vowel ending
No.
name
No.
in Rhode Island?
No.
That's all I want to
That's
know.
it. Not in this circle, buddy. No, but yeah. So he
Anybody with a
he
consonant at the
invested-
end of the name in Rhode Island.
He invested, but
And he
you
skis.
can
And he
see.
skis.
But you can
Any.
see. No.
Any.
No Polacks.
A bird. We got a bird.
Yeah. Oh,
A
east
bird.
side. East side. No, but he invested. It's Giovanni Ferrucci. But he invested, and it's amazing to see the production that Billy has
Oh,
now.
yeah. I saw
And it
it,
is.
yeah.
It's literally all fresh ingredients and then flash frozen. So it's really good
So
pizza.
now that pizza, can we get it?
Yeah. Well, we thought
We'll
Nick
have
was.
to- next
we
time I
thought
come
Nick
back.
We
was-
thought Nick was late because he was picking up a pizza.
Yeah,
I know, sorry.
but he showed up with his own Dunkin' Donuts, and that's it. and-
Sorry, guys.
No,
sorry.
that's all right.
But
no,
no,
that's
like,
great.
But Billy, yeah,
He's gonna-
I called
so
him-
he's gonna
I called him up.
let you use the
I
restaurant?
messaged him, and it was just like I was like, "Hey, Billy, I see that you close on Tuesdays. You think?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem. Right away, like no problem." I was like, "Wow."
That's
I
the
was
kind
like,
of
"Thank
guy
you
he
so
is.
much."
Yeah,
Yeah, he just
awesome guy.
it really because I did a lot of when he had the place in Providence.
Yeah.
did a lot of shows there with him. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that's right. Because did he have? Was it the
Castle.
The Castle
Yeah.
Cinema he had for a while,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
God, that place has been with so many different people.
Yeah,
It was
it's a
such
great
it's
building.
such a great building and such a great venue.
I think it's just a tough area.
Well, there's no
Just
parking.
par-
It's
I was like,
Chalkstone
if you can
Ave,
get
you
that
know?
building and lift it up and just put it somewhere with a lot, like a huge
Right.
lot, it'd be
Or
a great venue.
Or, we talked to a few people. There might be some accidental fires in the neighborhood. Now you got some
Hey.
parking lot spaces.
You know, shit happens.
Yeah, it's Providence.
Exactly. Give
Sounds
it some
manageable.
time. Yeah. That's the one thing Joe says. Sounds manageable. That's why he's the quiet guy.
Watch out for those quiet guys.
Yeah, we can make something happen. So,
Yes, Charles Street, and that is going to be done. We're looking like either the last week September
oh wow, that soon.
or
I thought that would be like a 2024 project.
no, first week.
So
of,
you're talking
Oh,
fall.
wow.
first week of October.
Okay.
Maybe like it's going to be a 7-day shoot.
Yep.
Uh,
Let me know when the casting call is, my friend.
I'm gonna.
I'll slick my hair back.
I'm gonna be doing some auditions.
He's got some Vaseline. He can put that hair right there.
And then, yeah. So
Yeah, the Vaseline's for something.
Uncle June.
probably do some rehearsals because like guys like Scorsese still does it. Many people do it anymore.
What?
But do rehearsals before they film,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I really didn't do that before because I only did small projects.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But directing this is my first feature that I'm directing. Other people's money.
Are you gonna
I
do
want to
the-
make sure it's gonna be a
Right,
good
right,
movie,
right.
a good
So
project.
if there's money involved, are we doing the Francis Ford Coppola? We all get together for dinner and wine and stuff. Get to know each other.
I don't know if that's
a la
I don't know if that
Godfather
fits
style.
the budget. I don't know if that fits the
Thinking like Wendy's.
It's not that big of a budget.
Yeah,
Maybe a
we're all
Baconator.
eating Wendy's. Yeah, Baconators
I'll bring a box of Munchkins.
and a box of wine.
You watched The Offer on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
didn't
that,
ya?
that was
Yeah,
great.
but
Great series.
that was
great.
true. That's
It was
how
all
he
true
got.
story.
That's
Yeah.
how he got all of those
Such a
folks
great
to
series.
feel like a family.
Excellent.
Yes.
Was every night they lived together for like 2 weeks before the shoot, and they would just eat dinner together and talk, and and he said it. I saw the characters form.
Of course.
I saw
Yeah.
Sonny form at those dinners.
Yeah.
He became the antagonist.
I
When I
tell
saw
people,
Michael.
too, if they're fans of the God, if you're a true
Oh,
fan
that is such a great
of the Godfather,
series.
get Paramount Plus, do the free month trial, and binge watch the
Code
10
name,
episodes
yeah.
of The Offer.
Albanese.
You have to watch The Offer if you're a true fan
yeah.
of the Godfather.
And
'Cause
watch
it
the
was amazing.
documentary of the making of Apocalypse
Oh,
Now.
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
If
crazy.
you want to watch the way Coppola makes a movie
Yep.
and what he's willing to go through
Oh,
to,
my
to
God.
that
make
ki-
a
and,
movie.
and that kid's gonna be in Pictures. I think it's called documentary about the Evans.
Yes.
Oh, Robert Evans.
There's
Oh
a
yeah.
2-hour documentary about his life.
Well, and
Amazing
Yes.
life this
Yes.
guy had, career.
Mark
Amazing.
and Mark Maron actually had Al Ruddy, the producer. He
Yes.
was, the producer of
Yes.
The Godfather was his first producing job.
Oh,
He's
really?
the guy that Miles.
Is he still alive?
Miles
Yes,
Teller played.
He's like freaking 90.
Yeah, Miles Teller
But he
played
had
him.
him on Miles Teller's character. The guy that Miles Teller played in The Offer
Yeah.
is Al Ruddy.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, I
He's
know that.
still alive,
Yeah.
and that was a great episode.
Miles Teller's great. He did
Oh,
great.
fucking
Everybody
awesome.
was great in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was so perfect in their characters for
Yep.
that show. I tell
He's a
people all
great
the time,
actor.
like, oh, I never seen that. I said, you like the God? I love the Godfather. You got to watch the series.
Right.
Is there anything Giovanni Ribisi can't play?
Oh my God.
The guy was in Ted, and then he's in this.
I know.
And he's brilliant
So
in
good.
anything he
Yeah,
plays.
He played the Columbo. Was it Columbo? He played?
Yeah, he
Joe
played
Colombo.
Yeah, he played
Colombo.
Columbo.
Yep.
And you ever watch him? You ever watch Sneaky Pete?
Yes.
He's
Yeah,
amazing.
amazing.
That's what I mean.
He's
The guy
amazing.
can play anything.
Yeah. Goofy in Ted. He was
Right,
that weird
right. He could play
character.
goofy,
Yeah.
funny guy, or he could play something really serious
Yeah.
and
Yep.
menacing. The guy's brilliant.
You're really good.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
You don't see you don't hear about him much, like in his personal life. Or
I
nothing
think
like that.
because
but he
no,
picks
because he's
very
not a
different
movie star.
roles.
He's an actor.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Some
Right.
people, and I've heard people in interviews where they say, "Look, if you want to have paparazzi around, there's a reason why paparazzi are around. There's plenty of people who are big stars that don't have paparazzi around them all the time.
Yeah,
If you feed into it, they're gonna feed into. They're gonna take the bait.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't have any.
That's why
around.
there's fucking
there's
people.
none around me.
Well, I don't know if you
I hide
noticed
out
people
pretty
in the
well.
bushes at my house. They were waiting for us to come in.
But Gagoots, he's got a
Gagoots
hide
is
from
putting
the
his glasses
I
on.
just
paparazzi.
realized I was the only one without glasses. So.
Oh, so you put
you
your
put
glasses
glasses
on?
It was
You
that
feel
why
it.
you haven't said
That's
shit all night?
That's right,
Now I
yeah.
feel a
Now
lot
you can
different.
see. Now you can talk.
Yeah, and we're at an hour, so we're about to wrap up the
What?
show.
Yeah.
Good time,
Yeah.
good
Well, let
timing
me
there,
tell
buddy.
you how it all started. Oh, yeah. It's over?
Yeah. You know what? All right, let me put these back in the case.
And
Yeah.
Joe is also in Charles Street.
Is he?
Yes.
Nice.
I live
He
in
plays.
Charleston.
Want to tell him character name?
Yeah.
It's Shy Sal.
Shy Sal.
Hard to believe, right?
Yeah,
it's a stretch
that's,
for you.
That's a stretch. You must have had a lot of character development on that one.
Did you have to get him an acting coach
Yeah,
for that
right?
one?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's taking classes for that one.
Wow.
Really
Well, look, if you
stepping
need
out
a-
on a limb.
If you need a
Joe.
short, stocky, Michael J. Fox looking
I'm
guy,
available.
I'm available. No, you're Macaulay Culkin. I'm Michael J. Fox.
I see it.
That was actually a good documentary. Michael
Oh, I
J.
saw,
Fox.
I saw that a
Still.
couple weeks ago.
Watch it last
Fantastic.
weekend.
Yeah, it was great.
Unbelievable.
That
He
was
is
another
just,
tearjerker for
amazing.
me because
Yeah.
we grew up with this guy.
Yes.
And he looks young for so
he's such
long.
a great actor and just a good guy.
Yep.
He
And then-
was.
and this
And
like,
such a fireball.
It's like, why does this happen to people? Like,
And-
why does this happen?
And he's still such a positive
yeah,
person.
yeah. Like his
Yep.
kids call him Shakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's little
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and then like, oh,
But I
wait,
love
wait,
how his trainer
wait,
is like,
see-
slow down. You're
Yes.
going to trip. And then he falls on his face. He goes, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
And
Yes.
remember when he fell outside and the lady's walking by?
Yeah.
He goes, like, he said, I fell for you or
fell
something.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
Like he makes a joke
He
out
makes
of
a
it.
That's what I
joke
mean.
out of it. That's how amazing he is.
He has
I don't know
such
if I
a
would be
positive-
like that.
No.
Yeah.
I'd probably be depressed trying to get off myself
He
somewhere in a
refuses.
hotel.
He refuses
You know?
to have a victim's
It's crazy.
mentality.
But Christopher Reeve was the same way after his accident. For as long as he was alive,
Yeah.
he was very positive and
I look at that and like, wow, would I be that way?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't. But we don't.
I would
know.
aspire
We
to
don't
be
know.
that way, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I would. I'm sure I'd have bad days. I'm sure he has bad days
Yeah,
too.
Of course.
But I like how his family doesn't treat him any differently.
No. Yeah.
And they don't take any shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His wife calls him out on stuff.
Yeah.
They treat him like he's anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which normalizes it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
know?
God
Exactly.
bless her, man. She's
Oh,
stuck
my
with him all
God.
these years. They
Yeah.
met in Family Ties.
I know.
Yeah.
They've been together a
A
long,
long time.
I my wife and I are watching that, and they got to the point where he said that they met for the first time, and she said to him, "You're a real asshole."
Oh yeah.
That is literally what happened the first time my wife and I met. She said to her brother, "That guy's an asshole." And when Tracy Pollan said that, my wife and I looked at each other like, "Holy shit! Well, I guess we'll be together forever."
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
So
it
maybe
was
that's the
exact same
problem.
way.
My ex-wife never called me an asshole when
Yeah,
we met.
exactly. You got to be called an asshole the first time
And
you
we
right
know
up
how
front.
that story
Oh,
ended.
she called me one after, I'm sure, but not during. No. Listen, man, we really appreciate
Nicky,
you
love
guys
when we have
coming
you on,
in.
man.
Absolutely.
Love when you
You want to interview Joe a little bit? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, we already did. I don't know what the hell he's going to say now.
Chatty Cathy wouldn't shut up the
I
whole
talk,
time,
but
so
I-
we've
look,
had enough of
Yeah,
him.
take a drink of water. You're stressing your voice there, buddy. Yeah.
But can I give you a quick plot of the Charles Street?
Yeah,
So you wanna-
absolutely.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have to go. I thought they have to go.
It's
Yeah.
it's modern time. It's based in modern time.
Yep.
That helps the budget a lot.
So it's 1983.
No. It's this year, and it's basically about a guy based off of me who comes back into town. Who,
After being away for a
Yeah,
while
it made-
and sees how the neighborhood changed.
and exactly,
Yeah.
he made a movie called The North End of Providence.
Yep.
So it's almost like what I want to
mimicking-
do.
Right.
And he comes back a few years later, and he's thinking of a new project. And he wants to be inspired by the neighborhood.
Oh.
And he runs into an old guy who's like one of the last remaining gangsters around.
Yep.
And you can't be a gangster like you were back in the day,
Right.
Because there's cameras everywhere, and
Right.
and everything's on like
Yeah.
online, and
Right.
and because we know the real mafia now is the government. But
Yeah.
he has
That was Nick Albanese.
That was Nick Albanese.
For whatever government's listening right now.
FBI,
FBI, CIA,
forever bothering Italians.
Yeah.
So
DOJ. That was Nick Albanese.
So he has a little crew. He owns a bar, and it's a little front that his daughter runs. In the back room, they have like a little call center, and they're doing cyber crimes. So basically,
And it's going to be filmed at the Sunnyside Club with Brian Vincent.
I was actually I'm thinking about that
great
location.
place.
That's a great
Yeah,
place.
he's in the back.
I
Because
gotta
it still looks like it did in the
I gotta
70s.
talk to
yeah,
them.
You
But,
do. or
What's up?
You filmed over there before.
Oh,
or
we
what's
filmed.
the,
We
uh,
the
did Bread, Butter, and Bullets.
mobster when they-
what's the bar across the street from Graziano Sausage that the guys still sit out on the lawn chairs? They still, Graziano Sausage. There's that
it's
bar across the street
Oh,
diagonally.
that's further up.
Is it further up? The
They
guys are
still sit outside
no,
in lawn
they still
chairs?
sit outside in
they-
lawn
They're
chairs.
down like another few blocks.
Oh,
At like a little a barber shop now.
oh, okay.
That's
building,
like
that building got sold. So they got kicked
did
out
it?
of there.
Oh, they got kicked out?
I think it's a church in there now, or
No.
something, like a little Spanish church.
That's-
That's
my God.
that's like 60s and 70s mobster style.
Dude, if you
Sitting
drove
outside
by
the
there,
lawn
But there's still,
chairs.
some of them
if
are
you
still
drew-
there.
Oh yeah,
They're still there.
absolutely.
But
Some of them were my father's
so
friends.
the guy, the lead character
alive.
is basically knows about this guy's operation, and the
Yep.
guy invites him in because maybe you want to write a movie about this.
Ah,
And then FBI approaches the guy,
yep.
and they know that he's been in there, and they want him to wear a wire. So now he's caught between the feds and the little guy and his gangster.
Oh, that's a great
all I'm gonna tell you,
idea.
but there's a
That's
lot of
such
twists.
a great idea.
So,
a lot of twists.
so he's stuck between those two
Yeah.
worlds.
And
That-
he's home for a week, and he's like, why did I come home?
right.
Yeah,
I'm
and
caught-
now I'm in
yeah.
a shit
I'm caught in this
storm.
BS.
yeah.
Right. Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a
dude.
very cool
Yeah,
idea.
so it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be another fun.
Oh man, Find
Dude, you got some
something for
great
me to
ideas,
do.
man. Good for you.
Thank you.
Can I just be the guy that walks by at the mall? I'll do anything. I
we'll
just
get
want
you
to be
in there.
it.
We'll get you in
Yeah.
there, man. This because
I
it's
just
like
wanna
this
be
gonna
in
be.
it.
I'm doing
Yeah,
some
side
I'm
characters.
doing some bakery scenes. I'm doing some bar scenes.
Yeah.
Can I just
whatever you
buy
want.
bread
I'll
at
be
the
a
bakery?
bartender or-
Yeah.
I'll just buy bread at the bakery.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just walk by with like a pizza strip.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
Just so I can put it on my IMDb page.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Absolutely.
Pizza guy.
Pizza
Yeah,
guy.
pizza guy.
Guy
That's all I
eating
want.
pizza. Used to love the pizza from Croach Bakery.
Oh, yeah.
Used to have to cut it with scissors.
People in the summer
Used to
would
cut it
buy
with scissors.
buy boxes of it to bring
Yeah.
to the beach.
It was awesome.
Great stuff.
That's such a great idea.
Nikki,
I
we're
love it.
excited for you, man.
Yeah,
I love how
absolutely.
creative you are. I love the stuff you come out with.
I love that you're always thinking of something else.
Yeah.
You're
To
always trying to think. To Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, Joe. All of a sudden, Joe woke up. Hey, how you doing, Joe?
Hey. Welcome to reality, Joe.
Yeah, welcome. Wake up. It's 2022.
My meds
23.
just-
whatever it is.
23.
Meds just kicked in. I'm feeling good right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good.
And that's another thing about all these indie projects. That's why I another reason I started this, because just in the past 5 years, things have changed so much.
Yeah.
You were saying that in the video.
And
yeah.
there's like Indie Rights and Film Hub are the two biggest, but there's other companies.
Yep.
The independent film distributors. And they're helping out so many little independent guys.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And getting they get your stuff up there, and it doesn't
Well,
cost you anything.
Right.
They pitch it to Tubi, which is getting really big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For independent stuff, Tubi
Yep.
is getting huge.
Really?
Amazon, all these other little apps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Freebie is that another one?
Pluto.
Freebie TV.
Pluto.
Freebie. Yeah.
Yeah.
all of them.
Roku is
Roku.
is making
Yeah.
channels for
Yeah.
them, so they
Bobby?
pitch it, and if they
Yeah.
get it on there,
Grogu.
Flabby or Flubu?
yeah,
That's a Disney
Grogu?
TV Star Wars character.
Fluby Bobby?
Yeah, that's Minnie. That's Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
That's Grogu.
that's his name is.
Stop while you're ahead.
So they get them on there, and if they start making money, these
Gets picked up by something bigger.
yeah,
Right.
no,
Right.
but if it starts making money, these distributors they just take 20%. They take
20%.
They take no money up front, but they take 20, and you get 80%.
Right.
But it's great opportunity.
It's just getting it
'cause
out there,
if you
right.
if you have a good product and it catches on,
Yep.
You sound like Alan Rickman's character in Die Hard. I'll be sitting on the beach earning 20%.
I'll be earning 50%.
20%.
My name is Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
another classic. And I remember the
Oh,
night.
yeah.
I remember the opening night with my brother in the theater,
1988.
packed. And the
1988.
people were up on their feet at the end,
Yes.
applauding when that guy
Yippee-ki-yay,
fell from the building.
motherfucker.
The famous debate, is it a Christmas movie?
No.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Bruce Willis said at his roast on Comedy Central that Die Hard is not a fucking Christmas
Well,
movie.
Yeah,
Bruce
it's,
Willis
Well, he
is
doesn't-
now
he-
senile.
Now he
So-
doesn't remember what he had for breakfast.
Exactly. So
I think
So-
he's wrong. He didn't write the movie, so
Right.
he only acted in it.
So
It was
we
a
all agree,
Christmas movie.
Yes.
But anyway. Anyway.
that's like saying
On that
Home
note-
Alone isn't a Christmas movie.
For our listeners, go to the show notes and,
Yes.
and you'll see Nick's GoFundMe. If you want to be part of something special, something awesome, help an independent filmmaker make something great, then please consider a donation. As little as $10 can help out, but
Yep.
$25 is great. But give something and help a guy out. Also, his Facebook page, I put the link to that there as well, as you can see all of his projects that he's doing. Obviously the pilot that he's shooting, Charles Street, the movie that he's putting together. You can follow all those different projects.
Il Mio has a Facebook page.
And
as well.
Oh, yes.
does it have
Yeah.
a Facebook page?
Yes.
And the
Look up
link
Il
to that
Mio.
is through his Facebook page as well. You can even see what Joe is doing, which is
I work-
whatever
Nick
Nick's
has.
doing
I
anyway.
work for Grubhub.
Yeah.
So if people want to order, they can place.
Yeah,
an
if
order
you guys
right
are
now.
hungry
I'll
right
deliver it
now,
Request your driver Gagoots.
I'll-
Order something and say, "Can Gagoots order it?"
Yeah.
Put
Okay,
Gagoots as a code, and they get
Yeah.
it.
Gagoots.
Yeah, Gagoots.
Gagoots
If you
gets
can
you a
spell it.
10% markup with
Yeah.
delivery.
I'll deliver it right now. After the show.
Exactly, after the show.
I'm going to
And it
start-
recite lines from death or taxes.
Yes.
Yeah,
If he remembers his lines.
And listen,
you get a preview of the show before it comes out with your delivery.
and listen, the one thing we haven't talked about is the show, because this will come out before the show. So if you're interested in seeing an amazing comedy show with all of the ladies from
Yes,
the movie,
all three ladies.
Stacey Kendro,
From the pilot.
Ivana Bonetti,
And Karen Leochi.
I'm
It's gonna
hosting,
be
and I'm
great-
hosting.
Nick's hosting is wearing
Nick
the
is going to host. He's going to shave his beard off just so he can fit in.
These days, women have beards.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
no. He's the director. He's got to have the beard.
I gotta have that look.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but if you want to go to this show, it's going to help raise money for the cause. So check that out as well on Nick's page for tickets to the Comedy Park, and that is July 21st.
Yes.
So check that out. And
And again,
what are you going to say?
just we appreciate your support. You guys
do.
tune in every week. You guys have just been absolutely awesome to us. We appreciate it. Over 300 episodes, and you guys have been great. We appreciate your support. Please, if you haven't had a chance, give us a 5-star written review wherever you download your podcasts. In our show notes, I always put the link for our merch. If you guys want a T-shirt, coffee mug, something like that, take a minute. Check out our merch, and of course, there is the link to buy me a coffee. But we're not going to get coffee.
It's Buy Me a Bourbon.
It's buy me a bourbon
Yes.
for us. And if you do buy us bourbon, we'll let you know that you bought it for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll give you a shout out.
And that's pretty much it.
So listen, folks. Next week, Scotty Boy is going to be on vacation.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
I'll be doing some sun and fun, baby.
Sun
I'm
and
gonna be
Fun
hosting
in
that.
Myrtle Beach. So I will
But
be.
Ace has got a great episode for next week.
Yes, and
You're
I
going to send me
know.
the link.
I will. I'll
send me the link.
I'll send him the link.
I'll pop in and say
in
hello
case
because
he
I'm
can-
jealous.
In case he can join us from Myrtle Beach. So you guys know we've had our friend Brian Mulhern on a bunch of times.
Yes, as he posted on Facebook, he's coming on for his
5,000
9,000th
I saw
episode.
that. Yeah, 9,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Brian, Brian has had some career challenges recently. I guess I'll say, without naming. I don't know if he'll name it.
That's
but,
one way to put it.
He used to be on a radio station. He, in my opinion, made it of a very popular radio station. He got let go before the end of the year.
Ooh, painful
and
memories.
He is actually coming back with one of his old DJ partners, Jackson.
Yeah, it was a very
from the
popular
old
show.
WFNX days. It was called Jackson and the Pharmacist. It was
That's
after.
his brother, right?
No. Jackson is a totally different guy. It was after Carolyn Fox had moved away, and Brian wasn't on as Brian the Pharmacist on the Carolyn Fox show. He was on WFNX. It was Jackson and the Pharmacist. Very, very, popular show. He reconnected with Jackson, who recently down in Philadelphia had the same fate as Brian.
The radio
And
business, man.
So it's horrible.
Radio
TV,
sucks, man.
TV and radio. I mean, we also know some people in TV
Yeah, true.
that have recently been let go, who literally built the fucking audience
They were there for years.
for these
Right,
these
right.
places. So, long story short, or as Mike Murray would say, long story longer. Make a long story short. But
A short story long.
Brian Jackson and the Pharmacist are going to be joining us next week, or joining me next week. They're going to be talking about what their plan is. They are going to have a radio show on
Yes.
an internet channel They've already got a Facebook page with like 6,000 followers. Like
Wow.
I mean, they had a really good audience here. And now Jackson has a huge following in Philadelphia. Brian's got a huge following in Rhode Island. People have been waiting for them to come back. And so they're going to be launching an
Later in July.
internet radio show later in July. And so I've got those guys coming on next week to talk about that.
I'm definitely popping in
It's
for
going to be
a little
great.
bit on that
It's going to
one.
be a lot of fun. And I don't know if we talked about this, but Brian, in past episodes came on. Speaking of writing, he wrote a play loosely based on his experience of losing his mom during COVID.
Right.
From COVID. And
It's called The Butterfly Boys.
he wrote this script and he's rewritten it. He had a table read during COVID, but now he actually has a place. It's going to be at Academy Players in November. Academy Players is where Frank O'Donnell does his Christmas play every year.
And do we know anybody that's going to be in it?
Actually, yes, we do. Frank O'Donnell is going to be playing Brian's dad.
Wow. So we do
and
know somebody that's going to be in it?
I will be playing the younger brother. Yes.
Really?
Who has also been on this podcast. I will be playing Steven, John Donnelly's younger brother.
That's going to be awesome.
But it's loosely based on Kevin Mulhern, Kevin the stunt boy from 94 HJY, who we've had on the podcast. I have been reading this script because even though it's in November, I want to start getting really into the character now. Again, I've been traveling a lot. I've been reading it on the plane over and over again. Brian's like, hey, I want to do a table read and talk about rewrites. And I'm like, Brian, you don't need any rewrites. This is so good. I told him, I said, when this gets sold and goes to Broadway, please promise me I can play the same character on Broadway, because it is such a great. There are so many funny. It's kind of a dark comedy. I hate to say it, or a drama with some comedic moments. A dramedy. Because it's primarily a drama, deals with some heavy subjects, but he manages to endear the characters to the audience, and he manages to make some spots really, really, really funny.
Good.
So
Good fan.
We'll hopefully talk a little bit about that next week as well.
And just like you talked about, Nikki, earlier, people that bring something personal to their projects. That's the most interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You do it very well.
It reaches people.
Right.
It touches people.
And that's what you've done very well and continue to do with your production company and with your projects. And that's what Brian does really well. And that's the stuff that people find the most interesting. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Brian. And I'm glad you're part of it, Ace.
Thanks.
I can't
I'm
wait to
honored.
see it. And I can't wait to see what your stuff is.
Congratulations to you, Joe.
Congratulations, Joe. You and your wife.
Joe, I'm going to bring you a bouquet of flowers at the next performance.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there'll be edible stuffed inside them.
Yeah.
Definitely. You deserve it, Joe.
So I didn't realize we had some comments coming through. So we want to say hi to Jennifer. Jennifer, is that your sister?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's got like 8 different Facebook profiles.
I like
can't keep
I like
track
her
of
last name, Jennifer with an A.
Jennifer.
That's what it is.
My friend Margaret was on, and then Johnny Rotten came
Johnny
on.
Harrington. Thank you, Johnny.
Harrington,
Hey,
great guy.
Johnny.
Yep.
I don't
We got to
think
get
she's
him on the
still watching
podcast to talk.
We should, yeah.
he's
Johnny
good.
would be a good guest.
Johnny
Yes.
5 is alive.
Yes.
Johnny would be a very good guest.
Oh, did you have that up before?
No. I
sorry.
just
Any
brought us
any
off a
hateful
full
comments?
swing.
And I don't know if
No
she's
hateful.
listening, but we got to have Dawn Tyler on, too.
Yes. Actually, I'm doing a show for her next week, so I'll talk to her next week on
Good,
the 14th.
good. Yeah,
about-
I'm working
about
with her
doing it.
next month, so we should
So
definitely
that'd be
talk to
cool.
her.
All right, listen, folks. Thanks again. Quick shout out to our friends at the Mixtape Podcast. We love
Got to
you
call
guys.
out to them every week.
We got to call out because we love those guys. Big fans of those guys. If you're a kid of the 70s and 80s, you got to listen to it.
80s and 90s.
80s and 90s.
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
sorry, because they have guests from the 80s and 90s on.
And these guys are hilarious.
yeah, they literally.
what is it called?
It's called the
Mixtape
Podcast.
Podcast.
Oh, I gotta check
They
that out.
literally had the guy who wrote the music for the Power Rangers.
Oh, wow.
They had the guy.
That's
who,
Joe's show right there.
They,
He likes that.
they had the guy on who took over for Dennis DeYoung in Styx.
They're the lead singer
The lead
from
singer-
Men Without Hats.
Men Without Hats.
You can
like-
dance if
yeah.
you want to.
Yeah.
You can leave your friends behind.
Well, how about you remember?
Sorry.
You remember Pop Goes the World?
Yeah.
That's another man.
Nice, nice call.
So those guys are awesome though. So listen, folks, thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And other than that, we will talk to you
Next week.